U.S. equities are weak again this morning, but looking at yesterday, we all know how that finished with the S&P just barely eking out a new record high close. As I speak to you right now, the Russell is down about 1/3 of 1%, but the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq are just below the flat line. European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde signaled in a speech this morning that there could be a June cut, but she said future rate path is uncertain and it's going to depend on data. Yields in the U.S. are lower again, with the 2-year down about 5 basis points, 5-year down 7, 10-year down 5, and the 30-year down 2. But the dollar is higher again despite that move in yields. Crude is lower by 1.4%, copper by 0.4%, and gold and silver are just above the flat line. The VIX moved above 14 in early morning trade this morning. UK inflation data was lower than expected, had a very similar profile to the Canadian inflation data we saw yesterday, where it was a little bit lower than expected, as well as being lower than the previous month. Although interesting, with the UK inflation, the headline month over month, which was down 0.6% last month, was up 0.6% this month. They have a Bank of England rate decision meeting tomorrow. I doubt this will play into them somehow changing that decision, but look for them to possibly mention it in the speech or the notes afterwards. FOMC decision this afternoon, including a new summary of economic projections, also known as the SEP, also known as the dot plots. Remember, the last time we had an SEP or a dot plot released, that convinced the market that the Fed had pivoted, so keep an eye on that this afternoon. They are not expected to change rates. According to the CME Fed Watch tool, it's over 99% probability that they won't move rates. Looking ahead, earnings after the close today, 10 companies with market caps over $1 billion, including Micron Technology, Chewy, and KB Homes. Tomorrow, before the market opens, 8 companies with billion-dollar market caps, including Accenture, Darden Restaurants, and Commercial Metals. Tomorrow, we get the first post-FOMC Fed speech with Fed Vice Chair for Supervision Michael Barr speaking. Data tonight, Reuters Tankan Index in Japan, and Australian Flash PMI data and employment data. Tomorrow, March small to medium-sized business Flash PMIs for Germany, the EU, Canada, and the US, plus that Bank of England rate decision, and the Philly Fed Index in the US, along with the Conference Board's leading index and existing home sales.